What's up, y'all? I'm Spade, and this is my review of Nope, directed by Jordan Peele, 2022. Alright, first things first, thanks for watching the video. Second thing, press the like button, remember to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to be notified when I drop new content. All that stuff helps out with the algorithms and I really appreciate it. This will be a spoiler-filled review, so here's your spoiler alert. The movie's out now, so go check it out, then come back and watch the rest of this video. So for what it was, I thought this was a pretty cool movie. I didn't love it, it wasn't mind-blowing, but I didn't hate it. And I didn't think it was boring, but I thought the story was kind of disjointed in some places. I think the writing could have been a little bit stronger. And I think some of the characters, while hinting at a lot of depth, were very shallow. I thought the cinematography was awesome. Every shot looked dope. Peele is really good at that. There wasn't much music or a recognizable theme, but the sound design was very good. And I think all the actors did a great job with the material that they had. I think that Keke Palmer, who plays the character of Emerald, could have done a little bit of a better job. I think maybe she was hamming it up at some points. But then again, it could have just been that she was doing what the director wanted and what the writing called for. But she did bring a lot of enthusiasm and humor to the role. I think for a lot of people, she is going to be the standout character in this movie. My personal favorite character was Daniel Kaluuya, and I guess you could say he was the main character. He played OJ. And then I gotta shout out my dude Keith David, Spawn himself. I just liked seeing him in the movie even though he died really early on. And then Steven Yeun is in this movie as well, and he did a pretty good job too. Although, like Keke Palmer, there were some instances where it was like he was hamming it up a bit too much, or maybe the dialogue ran a little bit too long. But I don't have any real major complaints about any of the acting in the movie. The script kept me entertained, but that really hinged upon not giving away any spoilers in the advertising or the lead up to this movie. I think once you know what's going on here, it kind of ruins the overall vibe and the feel and the purpose of this movie, which is to keep you intrigued and make you think about what you're seeing and witnessing. And it definitely achieves that job, at least for me. On that note, I'll go into some bigger spoilers, so if you made it this far somehow, just get the hell out of here. So all the talk about UFOs and UAPs and stuff, you know, I guess you could say I'm kinda into that sort of stuff. I wouldn't say that I believe in it per se, but I'm one of those guys that I gotta see it to believe it. I'm that way with ghosts and spirits and all that stuff. I think the notion of it is cool, but I think that there's no factual evidence of it as of yet. That being said, this movie addresses a lot of cool UAP phenomenon. At one point they were talking about the pill footage, which, if I'm not mistaken, was taken by a couple pilots in the US Air Force. And it was taken a while ago, but declassified only recently or more recently, maybe 2-3 years ago. And the government admitted that there are these things on our planet that are flying around and they have no clue what it is. So it doesn't mean it's aliens. It could be like another country or whatever, some kind of technology we don't know about. Or as this movie seems to suggest, a living creature. And I thought that was a pretty interesting take and twist on the whole notion of UFOs. Even the design of the creature at first looks like what you would think of as a traditional UFO. At first, I did think it was a little odd and funny, to be honest, especially when it ate all the people that were with Steven Yeun at his Jupiter's retreat or whatever that place was called. When they were stuck in the monster, it really did look like some kind of practical effects, like they were on a stage. But I appreciated the use of lighting and practical effects in that instance. I think people that are claustrophobic maybe might feel a ways about that scene. But to me, it was kind of comical when it was happening because I didn't expect it, and then the way it happened, it kind of threw me for a laugh. So I don't know if, like, you know, there's a split intention there, but it definitely made me feel some kind of emotion. All the way to the lead up though, I got to admit I was interested and I was intrigued with the entire situation. I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to know what the UAP was, if it even was a UAP. And I like the inclusion of the cameraman. I think his name was Antlers, played by Michael Wincott. As an aspiring filmmaker, artist, I appreciated that point of view. And I think there was a lot of stuff in this movie for filmmakers. For example, OJ leading the monster or the alien, whatever you want to call it, away on the motorcycle, and he's rocking the crew uniform, the crew jacket. Also, the family being involved in supplying horses for the film industry, tying all the way back to the creation of film itself. There was a lot of very self-reflexive moments in the film. And there was a lot of meaning in the film as well. Now, I said before that the characters, like, they hinted at a lot of depth, that a lot of stuff was going on with them internally. And I think Daniel Kaluuya delivered that performance really well. He was stoic. He didn't really say much, but he spoke with his facial expressions and his eyes. For me, that's the tellings of a very good actor. Whereas Keke Palmer, she was just very rambunctious and just saying a lot of stuff all the time, always cracking jokes. Every girl that she sees in the movie, she's hitting on. So it's like she's supposed to portray this character that's like the anti-that, but she herself is that character. And I don't know if that's trying to be a comment on that, but I don't know. It was one element that I just didn't really care for in this movie. They touch on the main character's past a tad bit, but they don't go too much in detail. The other thing that I thought was really interesting was the notion of not looking at this thing, this UAP alien thing, and how the film compared it to, I guess, a predatory animal. And the comparison it makes is with the monkey and Steven Yeun's character. We saw that he didn't look the monkey directly in the eyes, or I guess he did, but he was veiled by the tablecloth when he did so, so the monkey didn't kill him, rip his face off. At least that's what I took from that part of the story. And kind of how, I guess, Hollywood is predatory, Steven Yeun's character being a child star and not being able to let go of the stardom, I guess, of the fame, doing anything he can to latch onto it. And so I guess it leads him into this situation where he was like feeding the horses to this thing, and then it finally caught up to him and it killed him. So I guess, yeah, cool. It's a good message, I guess. I got the message. I'm not really sure what to do with it, to be honest, like me personally. I don't know, I'm not a famous guy. And then the ending of this movie was pretty weak as well, I think. There's a huge build-up, and I was interested the whole way through because it is a little bit of a slow burn, and you gotta pay attention to the details, I guess. Or the movie forces you to pay attention to the details because of the quietness of the characters, the stillness of the atmosphere, and then I guess the jarring juxtaposition of the two stories. Because it's not explicitly told to you how they're related, you, I guess, gotta kind of think about it as the audience and go, oh, well, I guess that's how the monkey thing relates to the UAP. Because after watching the movie, I was like, okay, well, what the hell was the deal with the monkey then? And then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, that's like the deeper meaning, I guess. But I don't know what effect he wanted that to have on me, because it left me confused. And it made me think about it. I guess the overall goal of film is to make you feel an emotion, have you interested, and think about the movie after it's done. And it definitely did that. So he achieved the job. So job well done, I guess. The thing is, it's not like I really care about it. It just left me curious after watching it. So after this big build-up, we have this plan going on, and it's not explicitly told to us what the plan is, but we see all the characters setting it up. I guess they wanted to capture footage of the phenomenon they were seeing. I guess the first like real footage of a UFO. But beyond that, I don't know what their plan was for dealing with the UFO itself and not getting killed. So to my understanding, you got OJ on the horse, and then I guess on the motorcycle. He's gonna lead this thing through a gauntlet of distractions, those floaty, inflatable, arm wavy guys. And I guess distract it enough so Antlers and Angel can get the footage of it. But then after that, what was he gonna do? He was gonna sacrifice himself? So I don't know, for me it was like half a plan that they had. I didn't know what the rest of the plan was. Then you got Antlers out of nowhere who's like sacrificing himself to this thing with the camera too. But I think one roll of footage like fell down the hill with Angel. I don't know if anybody else saw that or if that was my eyes tricking me. So it was like, okay, you got the footage, all that for what? For nothing? Or I guess maybe this thing, it's gonna spit the roll of film back out because it only eats the organic stuff. I didn't see it spit out anybody's clothes. I know it didn't eat the flags and the inflatable guys, and it spit out the horse, and that's why they used that plan against it. So I see the whole thinking, I just don't know what the rest of the plan was. This thing unfurls itself, and it's like this big balloon jellyfish thing, which is like something, you know, I heard a while ago, something Carl Sagan said was that if there was life on Jupiter, it would look like that, like a big floaty jellyfish. Maybe Peele was referencing Sagan. Anyways, it squares off with OJ. He stares it down, you know, the predator prey thing. Go watch my review for Prey. And it's ambiguous if it actually killed him or not. And personally, I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. Did it eat him or did it leave him alone and that was actually him at the end? Or was Keke Palmer just seeing a ghost or just seeing a vision, or maybe it was a representative of something, I don't know. But the ending just happened really fast. So after that happens, Keke Palmer comes, not to mention the TMZ guy who just appears out of nowhere, falls off his motorcycle, and then, okay, now we have a motorcycle to do an Akira slide for like no real reason, to be honest. I know at one point he was asked to direct a live action version of Akira, and he declined. I don't know if he said he didn't think he was gonna do justice to the original, but whatever the case is, I respect him for that. I think they should leave that alone, leave it as an anime, but that's a whole other topic for another time. Now, after this thing is chasing Keke Palmer's character, she decides to cut this big helium balloon loose from its restraints, let it float up in the air. This thing eats it, I guess, and then it explodes. And I was like, wow, that's cool, but what? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, like, why did it explode? I don't know, maybe the helium blew it up? I guess because it was compressed helium and it tried to digest it, it just exploded inside of it. That's what I'm gonna go with. I guess that was their plan all along, was to lure it back to the ranch and make it eat the balloon. I'm just saying it seemed kind of random at the ending there. Not a lot was explained. I was left asking what the hell just really happened. It left me wondering, okay, what's the aftermath, like realistically? Because we see police cars and the media descending on the ranch, but obviously the movie ends there. So I don't know, the ending to me was a little bit disjointed and kind of weak. I do see what was going on there. I don't know if that was their plan or not. It didn't seem like it was. It could have been. I guess the entire thing's ambiguous because they don't actually tell you what they're going to do. But I would have liked to know more, like to know why they thought the balloon would blow it up. I guess maybe they assumed it was like a balloon itself, so maybe you pop it. I don't know. That's that's what I'm thinking. But again, just the fact that I'm thinking about it after seeing the movie, the film did its job. So my rating for Nope is 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What do you think exactly happened at the ending there? What do you think about UFOs? Have you ever been abducted by a UFO before? No, I'm joking. But, you know, hit me up in the comments. As always, I'll put some links for my music, my merch, and my beats in the description. Much love for everybody watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.